And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Takes over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. A second-time Pro Bowler here. This is the Chargers' Melvin Gordon. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Well, we've talked about this game being hosted here in Orlando, and you and I are quite familiar with this place, especially you. You live, what, 20, 25 minutes from here?
Yeah, not bad at all, right? An easy trip to come right to the studios here in Orlando. You, of course, have to give a little bit more effort, a quick flight, then you're here, but you've learned this city quite well. And how about it, the Madden Studios, right here in Orlando? That's where Coach and the guys hang out as well.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a first down. For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas City, the organization, the team, the city, how well are you set up for future years with that youngster as your quarterback? Not only are the guys on the team excited about it, think about free agents thinking about where they might want to play. If you're a free agent receiver, you're thinking Kansas City.
12 more yards there and another first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking. You don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Yellow. There's your line.
Here's Connor. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He's across midfield with a 48-yard run. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the NFC's 48-yard
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. On 2nd down, it's Connor. He was taken down by Ryan Kerrigan of Washington.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Connor. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation. But think about going to Orlando, especially if you've got kids. All the theme parks, all the great things to do, plus not nearly as long a flight no matter where you come from in the United States. I think it's a big deal and a good thing to have it here in Orlando.
Khalil Mack of the Bears, the one to make the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The AFC thus far on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Myers' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top.
The NFC looking to rewrite a little history as they lead this 2019 Pro Bowl at the break. Now remember, they've lost both of the previous Pro Bowls played here in Orlando. But maybe, just maybe.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that one carries out of the side of the end zone for a touchback, so that will come out now to the 25-yard line. Breeze in the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he will find his Saints teammate Michael Thomas complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Breeze to throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. Charles, this, the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, and then last year in 2018 it was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs, offense and defense respectively. And then last year, Delaney Walker of the Titans, their tight end, he won it on offense. And Von Miller of the Broncos won it on defense.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right, and that game was played out in L.A. in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham, nickname Automatic.
Now the leading rusher in the league, Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys, his second Pro Bowl. Touchdown! Ezekiel Elliott, 30 yards. And the NFC adds on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now Mahomes. And he fires one incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And complete right side to Cook. The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Well, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. That sack by Khalil Mack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And going deep for Hill. This is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Caught on the right side by Jones. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Breeze to Adam Thielen for an NFC 1st down. Well, he was so good throwing the football on 3rd down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something during, as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's 3rd down. He finds a way to convert.
Now Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their 2nd. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He completes it to Jones. Past the 20, And touchdown! Julio Jones, 46 yards. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath, a short pass like that. But boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And to the right side here, it's Allen. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Now here's Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Flushed it, and he can't find the receiver, and he's brought down. That was Patrick Peterson from his cornerback spot whirling in for the sack.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. Welcome to Madden NFL 20. Here you can try the all-new QB1 face of the franchise or enjoy Classic Madden with Madden Ultimate Team, franchise, or a quick pickup game in exhibition.
You hate cause ice on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, Be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, cuz I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist.
I was legit ever since I blew. They all on my hey back then didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got choked long. I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex slick then he with the back then used to out the zip. Blow out his back then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things pull out the VIP. Suck turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Hello, everyone. It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first, let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. As always, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, Rams and Patriots still a week away. We'll touch on that later. But as Coach said, the AFC coming in here on a 2-game win streak.
And I love the fact that it's back to AFC versus NFC. We had that little time frame with captain's picks, and there was no side. I didn't like that. So let's see if the NFC can get into it. Drew Brees will be their starting quarterback. Probably a little perturbed about how his season ended. And Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City, what a second season for that youngster.
Aldrich Rosas and the Giants putting total leather, and we are underway in the 2019 Pro Bowl. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go! Yellow! Yo, 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 yo! Yo!
On first down, Mahomes. And he gets it to his KC running mate. That's Tyreek Hill. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down, avoiding that 3-and-out. Well, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback He's going to put him on the ground.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. They'll run on first down. It's Connor. It was a solid check down there with pressure coming, wasn't it?
It was, because you're trying to go through your progression, and when you have that type of pressure in your face, it changes what you're doing and how fast you have to do your reads, and able to come back and find him in open space. That's a really nice play.
And going deep for him, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll run with the Rams' Todd Gurley. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Myles Garrett of the Browns there to bring him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they worked on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive of your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Ertz has it left side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. To throw, it's Breeze. Thomas has got it, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. On first down, Connor. The tackle made by the DN to the Saints, Cameron Jordan.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. Malcolm Jenkins of the Eagles in on the tackle.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Mahomes now to throw, and he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more after this. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this will remain a scoreless game.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
A good pickup there at 22.
sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it first and goal to go. On first and goal, Gurley. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it. Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. From 10 yards out. And the NFC is in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. PAT up and good by Rosas. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. The AFC offense making their way back out. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta, New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots. But in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback, Tom Brady, guess what? They're the #1 offensive team in the NFL. And you know the Rams are high flyers as well. So that tells me that this Super Bowl, low scoring. It's going to be a total anomaly. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-10 final score. Going totally opposite what it should be.
Well, I'm going to completely disagree. I see high scoring, maybe 51-44, something like that. The 2 punters, Johnny Hecker and Ryan Allen, don't even show up to this one.
Johnny Hecker might throw a touchdown pass because you know the Rams like to fake it when he's on the field.
The NFC offense heads out to begin this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And that's picked up by the AFC. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. as you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The offense for the NFC back out there. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down.
Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. The sack there by J.J. Watt. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Von Miller picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines were raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it first and 10. They get just 2 out of it there, and it's second down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Caught. Kelsey, left side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. Well, you know, it's hard for some of these guys to get on the same page because they've only been practicing together for a week. But these two, I think they're pretty familiar.
I would say so, right? You go back to OTAs, mini camps, preseason camp, games, the whole deal. They ought to know each other pretty well. And in an all-star game like this, key situations, you find someone like that who you know will be exactly where you think they're supposed to be.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter,
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown. Todd Gurley, 79 yards. And the NFC adds on to their lead. That's what we want right there, CD. It's the Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them, and they'll have to live with that for the rest of the year.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he's going to bring this one back for an NFC touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalized with a little bit on top.
Out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Mahomes going to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And now it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better. When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
The AFC thus far on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Mahomes throwing on 4th, and it is incomplete. The AFC went for it, and it doesn't work out. And the NFC is going to get the football back in excellent field position. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the postmortem.
Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack. J.J. Watt in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this pressure coming, and they got him once again. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes.
And all the way in for the touchdown. Julio Jones, 58 yards. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Balls.
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. All bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Yellow. 54. Mike, 54. Hey, let's get that ball, D.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he finds his Chiefs teammate, Travis Kelce. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll return it from the 6. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the NFC will take over deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And I tell you what, the AFC continuing their good run of form the last few years. They're on their way to making it 3 straight wins here at the Pro Bowl.
So what they're telling us by their play is that it actually does mean something, doesn't it? We always say, the Pro Bowl, what does it actually mean? There is pride in their conference, and the AFC showing their pride in a big way over the last few seasons.
What? Ready? I'm coming for you. You mine.
A first throw for the backup Wilson. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Charles, sometimes I know a lot of people quick to dismiss the Pro Bowl, but I'll tell you what, this was a lot of fun.
It always is once the game kicks off because going in, you know the rookies are excited. Their first time in a Pro Bowl, they can't wait to play. Veteran guys, should I not? But once they choose to play, they want to win, they want to compete, they want to show their best. You're exactly right. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Buying time to his left. He'll have a first down past the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Got it. Easy.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 11 more on that one and another first down. On first down, Wilson. Ertz over the middle. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is indeed good. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The NFC, they are your winners as we say so long from the Pro Bowl.
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for